Welcome on our second video about Microsoft Word. On the first video, we saw how to open a new file, how to save it, and how to use simple features of Microsoft Word, such as the Home tab and File tab. We also saw how to save the document as a PDF and as a normal Word file. Meanwhile, in this new video, we'll see how to use simple functions such as copy and paste, how to create a filler text, and the multiple ways to select a text. Let's start by talking about the characters we can use in our file. The characters are all the letters, numbers, and symbols we find on our keyboard, such as these, but also all the invisible character, like the space we leave in between words when we use the spacebar. By creating a new paragraph and going underneath, all these characters are called invisible characters, and we can make them visible by using this feature called Show All. If we click on it and zoom in so we can see better, we can see that the spaces created by using a spacebar are showed with a single dot. The spaces created by creating a new paragraph are showed by this weird P. We can create another invisible character by pressing the Tab key, and as you can see, it creates a bigger space in between the letters, and it's showcased by this arrow. That's all for now about characters and invisible characters, so let's delete all we wrote. Let's turn off the show all. And let's talk about filler text. A filler text is a text with no real content that is usually used to test formatting or, for example, web designs before we even have a real content for it. In Microsoft Word, there are two ways to create a filler content. One is rand, that comes from random, and it creates a text in the language that we have selected for our file in Word. In this case, it would be English. The other way to create a filler text is called lorem, which comes from the Latin lorem ipsum, which creates a filler text in Latin. Let's start by using the command rand. So we type in an equal sign and then write rand and then type left bracket and right bracket. Then you press enter, and as you can see, it created a filler text with 5 paragraphs in English. If we use the same command again, it will create the same text again, because no matter how many times we use this command, it creates the same text each time. We can decide how many paragraphs we want in our filler text by typing rand left bracket 4, for example, and then right bracket, press enter, and as you can see, it creates a text with 4 paragraphs. We can also decide how many lines we want inside of each paragraph, but this command doesn't always work well, but we can try it out anyway. You do the same, equal sign, then rand, left bracket, 4 again. This 4 stands for the paragraphs, and then, for example, 6 lines in each paragraph. Press enter. As you can see, we have 4 paragraphs, and they all have 6 lines, beside this one that only has 5. So it works quite well, but it's not perfect. Now let's delete all this, and let's try the command lorem to still create a filler text. We do the same thing. We type equal sign and then lorem, left bracket, right bracket, and press enter. And as you can see, we get a text in Latin this time. If we do it again, we get once again the same text. So no matter how many times you use this command, you get the same text. And just like the command before, we can decide how many paragraphs we want in our text. For example, I want 8 paragraphs, press enter, and as you can see, we get exactly 8 paragraphs. With this command, we cannot choose how many lines we want in each paragraph because it doesn't work well, but let's try it anyway. Let's say we want 7 paragraphs with 3 lines each. Let's press enter. And as you can see, we got 7 paragraphs as we asked, but the lines in each paragraph are different. So now that we've seen how to create a filler test, let's see how to select words and sentences inside our file. Let's start from deleting this filler text we have right now, and let's create a new one in English. The easiest way to select a word or a sentence is by left-clicking at the beginning of the word we want to select, and then hover on the words or phrases we want to select. But a faster way to select a single word is by going over the word and left-clicking 2 times. As you can see, it will select exactly the word that we wanted and nothing else. To select a paragraph, there's a very similar way. We go over the paragraph we want and we left-click 3 times. And as you can see, this time it selected the entire paragraph. If we want to select another paragraph that is not directly under the paragraph we just selected, we just go over the paragraph we want, press the Ctrl key, and left-click 3 times. This way, you see, we selected 2 paragraphs, even if they're not next to each other. And we can do it again with the last paragraph. So we press Ctrl key and left-click 3 times. Another way to select multiple paragraphs is by going at the beginning of the paragraph, pressing the Shift key, and clicking at the end of the paragraph we want to select. We can do the same thing with the whole text. So we go at the beginning of the text, press the Shift key, and go at the end of the text and left click. And as you can see, it selects the whole thing. Another way to select a phrase inside of our text is by pressing the Ctrl key and left clicking on the phrase we want to select. And as you can see, it will select from the beginning of the phrase to the first full stop it finds. There are also other ways to select the text, and those are by using the left margin of our page. For example, if we want to select the first line of our text, we go on the left margin and left click once, and as you can see, it will select the entire first line. Of course, we can do it with any line on our text. And still by using the left margin, we can select a whole paragraph by left clicking twice. And as you can see, it will select the entire paragraph. Still by using the left margin, we can left click once and then hover down with our mouse. And as you can see, it will select everything we want, depending on when we stop with our mouse. And this is all for the selection methods inside of Microsoft Word. So let's go see now how to copy, paste, and cut something from our text. These are simple commands that you probably already know, but we'll also see the shortcuts that maybe not everyone knows. If we select, for example, the first line of our text, click on it, we will get the commands that we're looking for. So cut, copy, and different options for paste. Let's start from cut. If I click on it, as you can see, the whole line that I had selected gets deleted from our text. If we want it back, of course, we can use the undo button. But if we want to paste it somewhere else in the text, for example, as the last line, we right-click and use paste. In this case, we'll use keep source formatting. And as you can see, the line has been pasted with the same formatting as before. And that's because there's no formatting in this text as of right now. So even if I right click and use merge formatting, the formatting of the line remains the same. We can also paste the phrase as a picture. In this case, it looks the same, but it behaves like a picture. So I can move it, I can make it smaller, bigger, just like a picture. So it looks like a phrase, but it isn't. Let's see the last option for paste. So we right click once again, and that's keep text only, which as you can see, it still does nothing different from the others, but that's only because in this text we currently have no formatting. So we will come back to these paste options once we have formatted our file. Let's see now how to copy a phrase or a word. Let's choose, for example, this word. I selected it by left clicking twice on it, and now I right click on it and click on copy. Now this word has been copied in our clipboard, and we can, for example, paste it right here. Go right click and click on paste, and as you can see, the word we copied, which was click, has been pasted here. All the commands copy, paste, and cut are also available on the group clipboard right here. As you can see, we have paste, cut, and copy. And this is to copy and paste the format of a section we like. In this case, we don't need it yet. If we click on the arrow on the bottom right of this group, it will open the clipboard where it shows all the words or phrases we have copied. In this case, we've only copied click, so it's the only one that is showing. But for example, if I select this phrase, right click and click on copy, it will immediately show in the clipboard. Let's select something else and copy it as well. And you see it shows here as well. Now the last thing we copied is the Word document. So if we go, for example, here and click paste, it will automatically paste the Word document. But if we want to paste this phrase, for example, we just click on it from the clipboard, and as you can see, it showed up in our text. We can also click on paste all, and that's exactly what it did. It pasted everything that we had copied, so the word click, the whole phrase, and the Word document. Or we can click clear all, and the clipboard will be emptied. So that's all for the clipboard. Let's see now the shortcuts for copy, paste, and cut. The shortcut for copy is Ctrl C. We select this word, for example, and press on our keyboard Ctrl and then C, and the word will be copied. So if we go on our clipboard, as you can see, it has been copied right here. If we want to paste it, the shortcut is Ctrl V. So if we press Ctrl and then V, the word is pasted in our document. Meanwhile, the shortcut to the feature cut is Ctrl X. So for example, let's delete this entire phrase. We select it and press Ctrl X. And as you can see, it has been cut. When we cut something, it gets deleted from a text. It gets deleted from our text, but also get copied in our clipboard. So now if you use the shortcut to paste, which is Ctrl V, it will paste the phrase that we just cut. There are also other shortcuts that are really important. They are not for copy, paste, or cut, but they are to undo or redo an action. As we've seen before, we can redo or undo something by using these two icons right here on the top left of our screen. But there are also shortcuts, as I just said. The shortcut to undo something is Ctrl Z. So if we press Ctrl and Z, it will undo our last action, which in that case was to paste that phrase. So it's now been deleted. And to redo an action, the shortcut is Ctrl Y. And as you can see, it redid our last action, which was pasting this phrase. Let's see now something we can do once we select, for example, a paragraph or a phrase, which is moving it inside our text. Let's start by selecting this second paragraph. Then we left click on it and over, for example, at the end of our text. Once we stop left clicking, the paragraph, as you can see, has been moved from the beginning of the text to the end of it. This works with a paragraph, but also with just a phrase, or even with just a word. In this case, we moved all of them at the end of our text, but of course we can move them wherever we want. For example, let's take this last word and move it here. As you can see, we left clicked on it, moved it where we want it, and then stopped clicking, and the word has been moved. Let's see now the last two commands for this video, which are find and replace. We can find these two commands on the ribbon of the Home tab, right here in the editing section. Let's start from find. Let's click on it, and as you can see, it will open this navigation tab where we can type any word, for example, themes. And as you can see, the word that we just wrote down has been highlighted inside our text. In this case, this word is only present one time. As you can see, it says one result. But if we change word, for example, video, we can see that there are 8 results and they've all been highlighted inside our text. Using these two arrows, we can move from one highlighted word to another, which allows us to find them quicker, and that's very useful if we have a larger text. Let's see now how the replace feature works. Let's click on it, and as you can see, it opens this window where here in the find what bar, we can write down the word that we want to find. In this case, it already shows the word that we looked for in the navigation bar, but we can of course write any word that we have in our text. For example, I will write down the word text, and we can replace it with any word we like. For example, hello. If we click on replace, it will say that we reached the end of the document, and that's because it started from the word that we had selected, which in this case was at the end of the text. But as you can see, it also asks if we want to start searching from the beginning. So we click on yes, and as you can see, it will highlight the word text, which is the one we looked for. So if we click replace once again, that word has now been replaced with hello, which is the word we chose. And the next word, text, has been highlighted. So we click replace again, and it has been replaced once again with the word hello. It also says that we're finished searching the document, and that's because the word text is no longer present inside of our document. So we click OK, and that's everything. We can also replace all the words at the same time using replace all. For example, I will choose the word video, and I will replace it with the word file. Click on replace all, and as you can see, it says that we've done 8 replacements because the word video, which is the one we wanted to find and replace, was present in the document 8 times. So they've all been replaced. Now that we've seen how to use the commands find and replace, we've reached the end of this video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up with our videos and to support us.